As the song goes, money, money, money. And that can only mean one thing. Brenda Shanahan is in our studios. Brenda, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Always a pleasure, always very educational. We always say hi to your mom, too, who watches the show. Hi, Mommy. So let's talk about it. We're talking about savings. How do we put money aside? You have something called a money alphabet soup to help us get started. What does that mean?
Money alphabet soup, Joanna.
It's not actual soup.
It's not actual soup, but you can enjoy it eventually. Yes. I call it alphabet soup because, you know, we hear about so many different ways of saving, that you should be saving in your RSP, in your RESP, in your TFSA, and now we have something new.
It's all acronyms. It's all acronyms
crazy.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And here in Quebec, c'est tout en français aussi, le riz, puis le RER, puis le scellé. What I say to people is that you have to think about why you need to save, and that these accounts, actually, what they are is that they're just a catch-all phrase for tax-sheltered accounts. Accounts that, and this is a good day for it, money that is sheltered by an umbrella from taxes.
That you can access eventually and pay the tax on eventually.
Yes and no, and that's where we have to sort of break it down now, because our government, in its wisdom, has actually created these different types of accounts for different purposes. So the one that we're most familiar with is, of course, the RRSP. The RRSP, yes. Which is the Registered Retirement Savings Plan, which is a wonderful way.
Look, as she's going through the letters, I'll make retirement savings.
Yes, you see, it all makes sense, right?
Yes. So the RRSP, that's the one everyone knows about.
That's the one that everyone knows, and we'll be hearing a lot more about it as we come up to the RRSP deadline, which is, of course, March 1st for the previous year. But I don't want to get too much into that.
We're talking about the TFSA, a mouthful there, the tax-free savings account.
Well, this is the brand new member of our alphabet soup, which I love, because an RSP is pretty daunting to a young person, say, starting out. I mean, are you thinking about retirement when you're still trying to, you know,
establish yourself?
Exactly, pay off student debt and get a down payment on a house. But a TFSA, the tax-free savings account, is a great way to save for any purpose that you can come up with.
Okay, so let's talk about that. We were talking about that during the break. In your 20s, I mean, I still remember my first job. There was the idea of putting money aside was a good idea, but you don't have that much money to put aside in your early 20s. How much should we be putting aside in our 20s versus 30s, and as you go forward? So 20s, maybe first serious job. How much? You were saying $25?
$25 a pay. Start out tranquillement pas vite, you know, just start out with that $25 a pay, put it in an automatic savings plan arrangement. That's right, which can be with your employer. That's putting it into a plan that they have, or your bank can arrange for that.
Or in the TFSA.
And they'll put it into a tax-free savings account, and that you can set up a purchase into a mutual fund. So that you will see some kind of investment return there that's going to be sheltered by this umbrella. And you'll see that with time it will grow. So it gets you into the habit of starting to save. Now, as you see that money grow, then you can meet with a financial advisor, and then you can start opening up into, you know, your retirement savings account and education savings account, depending on where you're at, and you're going to have your own alphabet soup.
My own alphabet soup. You're coming back here next time, and you're going to tell me how much money I need to put aside and how much money we all should be putting aside as we get older. Brenda Shanahan is always very educational.
Thank you very much.
If you don't have a tax-free savings account, go out there and get one, you guys. All right, thanks, Brenda. Stay tuned, you guys.